Hello and welcome to my very first unboxing video. My name is Martin and this week I got delivered with a print-on-demand version and a prototype of my very first real board game. We're going on a fucking adventure, it's called. And that's what's inside. I had this printed with the Game Crafter. It's a US company, and so it had to be shipped here to Germany to me, which was hellishly expensive. And I picked it up from customs during the week, which was a very rainy day, and I was on my bicycle, so the thing got wet too, so it got some damages here on the packaging, which is, well, annoying, but can't do anything about it, and it doesn't harm the gameplay. The packaging itself, well, this is going to be a review of the product of the Game Crafter as well as my own game. So let's talk about the packaging. The packaging is the cheaper version. It's a tuck box. It's rather soft and wobbly. You can see here it opens up almost by itself. But you get what you pay for, and print on demand usually is rather expensive. So I could have taken the more expensive route, which I might do in the future. I'm not sure about that. This is not the final design of the packaging. I'm going to have to add some more elements to it and clean it up a little, and the back side doesn't have anything on it yet, so I want to take pictures of the game when it's being played and put them on there, make it more attractive. So you open it up on the side and you slide out. This is, by the way, not a virgin unboxing, we already played this thing. You slide out the game, and what you get is these token cutouts, which I already stanced out. This is from all the tokens for the game. And there's the same stock as the cards, so they are rather thin and wobbly. I'm not very happy with them because during gameplay it gets hard to pick them up, but we'll get to that later. What I am happy with is the cards. Anyway, you'll find inside some blank cards. These are for adding your own additions to the game. You can make own items and own monsters and own dungeon tiles if you want to, for the creative ones out there. Then put this here, get out of the way. We have small components. That'll be obviously for the players' characters. Some of these little guys and the die. Then we have monster tokens. This is a small monster. See how well the camera actually will pick this up. I don't know. This is a small monster, easy monster. And then you have, where is it? Where do we have one? You have the medium monster, and you have the big and bad, difficult monsters. And on the back side you have a little thought bubble saying that they're asleep. So when you encounter them in the dungeon, they are usually face down, asleep, and when they notice you, they go active. We have coins. This is the 1 gold coin. It has a 1 on one side and a picture of the king on the other side. Then there's the 5 gold coin, Roman numeral 5, and then a little angel bishop thingy. And then we have the 10 gold coin, which is has a dragon on the back, for obvious reasons, because it's a fantasy world. And these are wound markers. They just used to mark when you're hurt, when you spend mana, when monsters are hurt, or when traps are actually out of charges, because some traps only spring once. This video is going to have a lot of ums. It's the first time I'm doing something like this, so don't mind me. These cards are attributes and character cards. Those are the monster cards, monster attributes. They add more abilities to a monster. So how the game works is you have 1 difficult, 1 medium, and 1 easy monster each level, and they get upgraded. You have a random base monster, we'll get to those later, and they get upgraded with, well, attributes. And the more attributes they have, the more dangerous they are. This one, for example, smashes shields, or this one can stun you, this one gets more health points. You have a ton of them, and on the later levels the monsters get more attributes and thus become more dangerous. And like an easy monster in level 3, the highest level with monsters in it, this is as dangerous as a difficult monster in level 1, but player characters will be better by then too, so it kind of evens out. So these are the races. You can choose your race for your character. It's either human. Let me see if this. Yeah, this picks it up. Human, dwarf, elf, or were-person, or kobold. Now you see it has a race and it has a description, and then it says what their special abilities are. What can they do? How do they have advantages? And then you flesh it out more with attributes. You have stuff like powerful or arcane, which allows you to cast spells because you have mana, or tough, which gives you more health points and all that. And you get one attribute, and then later, well, not later, same thing, you also get a skill. Like juggler, you can dual wield light weapons, or mage also gets mana, or warrior has one health point more and stuff, or the punch packer who can actually punch people so you can attack without a weapon and stuff like that. And you start out with a character built out of a skill, a race, and an attribute. And later on, when you get more experience points, you can actually get more skills and more attributes, and thus get more health points and also get more abilities. And this helps you down in the dungeon. Now, items. These are the item cards. It's quite a stack of them, 55, I think. And starts with outfits. You have shields. You have weapons. This is the Raven Bee, and they always have a chart like this. Like you roll a d6 and you see how much damage do I do, and little bracket thingies mean piercing. That means they ignore 1 point of armor. And they all have a price for buying and for selling, and that's pretty much it. There's spells, obviously. This is Fireball, or there's another armor. Some of the armors don't even protect you, but this one gives you more stealth. And there is well, this is the first mistake we noticed. That there's an error made by me while actually making the card files ready. This is not the correct graphics. There should be like a picnic tablecloth with food on it, but it's gold coins. I activated the wrong one in the GIMP file, so I'm gonna have to finalize that before we actually go into selling this game. Shields. Shield can block stuff. Lots and lots of different items and weapons. And you need a weapon to attack, so in the very beginning, when you have a starting fund, you actually need to buy yourself a weapon. Otherwise you can't attack in the first dungeon floor, and it will be very dangerous. Although you can hope to actually run to some treasure and find a weapon before you run into monsters, but the likeliness of that is like 50-50. So these are the dungeon tiles, and these are the monsters. Let's get to the monsters first. The monsters, there's 8 base monsters, and they all have an attack stat, and they have health points, and then they always have one special ability or one special rule about them. The ooze, for example, can destroy, when rolling a 6, it will destroy your armor. That's very horrifying when you wear something like a plate armor, which is really expensive. The shell beast is armored. It has a light and a medium armor, and armors only count against one type of attack each time. It's like light, medium, and heavy weapons and magic damage, and if you have 1 point of medium armor, it will only protect you against medium weapons. Now there's the carnivorous plant, which is stationary, but it has a very bad attack and it can drag you in. It has 1 health point more than the others, so kind of makes up for that. And it has been responsible with my prototype for actually some player total party wipeouts. It's quite bad. The fungosaur, which can regenerate health on a 6. The mercenary draws random weapons and defensive items from the actual item stack, so it can be very easy. Like if you're lucky, he just wears a shadow cloak and a dagger, but if you're in bad luck, you can have like, I don't know, a hellbeard and plate mail, and then you're probably dead. The fallen, she has a ranged magic attack, and it's the only monster right now that attacks magically and that has a ranged attack, so she doesn't have to move towards you, so that's rather dangerous, and it did kill some players in the game last Friday night. The Scolopender is fast. It can move and attack on the same turn. That's quite horrifying. The Rattling has a light attack only, but it can actually call other Rattlings, so it spawns more of its own kind. And if it's a difficult monster, if it has like 3, 4, 5 attributes, then you are all of a sudden you have 2 boss monsters in the room with you. So that's dangerous. And then there's the boss monster, which is the dragon. The dragon is on the 4th floor of the dungeon. It's the only monster there, and it's a 3-component monster, so it has 3 tokens. The difficult monster will be token is the head, and then there's the torso and the tail, is the medium and light tokens, and the head and the torso and the tail have a mutual health pool, but they have all different abilities, and they will behave differently. Like the head will chase people around, and it has a ranged area effect of attack, like spitting fire, obviously, and the torso will follow it around, and the tail will follow the torso, but they will attack things that are in their field. And if you're with a group of players, you can actually use this strategically, because they have different stats and they have different armor values, and you have to you can optimize your armor against a specific part of the dragon and have one baited and stuff. But if you are the bait guy on a 6, the head swallows you if you're in its field, so it's kind of dangerous. Here's the torso, and then there's the tail. So you have 8 different monsters plus the dragon, and the 8 monsters, of the 8 monsters only 3 are in each level, so 3 different monster types, and there can be up to 3 easy monsters, 2 medium monsters and 1 difficult monsters, and all 3 easy monsters are going to be the same, all 2 medium monsters are going to be the same, so that's kind of the ruling here. And then there's the dungeon tiles. These get laid out face down in the 5x5 grids. You have 25 tiles on each level, and you have to go from the top left to the bottom right corner. That's the goal. And on the back side, if you flip them over when you explore them, you can only see like the adjacent ones, and no diagonal side or movement is possible. So this is a solid wall, and then you have, for example, a monster lair. If it's a monster lair, then you place a monster in there, and it sleeps at first, and you have to roll a stealth check. If it notices you, then it will start following you around and attack you eventually. You can fight it then. These are barred gates. Barred gates, you need to actually roll a parkour check to enter the field, and then you have them opened. Difficult monster lair, you can see there's more bones there. It's more dangerous. This is the one difficult monster lair card in the game, and if you encounter that, it's usually dangerous. There's treasures. We have some boxes here, chests, I mean, and there's a deep hole, which is just difficult to get back out of, and a fire trap. And there's 30 of these cards. There's a trader, for example, and let's see here, water. You can lose items in there if you're not careful. And there's retracting spikes. That's a typical trap. And there's 30 of these dungeon cards, and you only use 25 because if you encounter a situation where you find a wall where you could actually, that prevents you from getting to the exit, then well, you're not screwed. You just take another one from the stack and take a different tile there, because it's impossible that the dungeon is not solvable. So these are the contents of the box. I am very happy with the cards. We used the UV coating option, which costs like 3 cents per sheet extra, but it makes the blacks look really nice, and they are very sturdy, nice quality. I like them. The backs of the cards have turned out rather pretty too. Like we did the logo thing for the items, and we did some wall for the dungeon tiles, so it looks unexplored, and we have another logo version of the whole thing on the backs of these, and same with the monster attributes, and we have the logo in white on the back of the player cards, so you can actually tell them apart from the back. I'm not so happy with these guys. They are very thin, and I'm probably going to go for thicker cardboard stock, which is more expensive, but seeing as the game is going to be rather expensive anyways, who cares? Only the lovers are going to buy it. So yeah, that's the unboxing of the game, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will probably make another video where I introduce you to my prototype that I used to playtest this whole thing. With some handmade cards, index cards basically. And I'm also gonna make at some point a video where I actually explain how to play the game and do some example moves, so people can use that as a reference when they buy the game in the future. Thanks.